But it's time now for weather and your wallet. Forget about the Black Friday sales. Now may be the time of year to save some big time cash on winter clothing. It all has to do with the weather. And joining us now is our business weather expert, Paul Walsh. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right to it.
Yep.
What type of correlation, what kind of impact does weather have in business this time of the year? Because we're talking about the transition season of fall.
You're right, and weather has a huge impact in terms of driving all of us to go to the store to buy the kind of things that we're going to need. And this time of year, one of the most impacted products is apparel. If it doesn't feel seasonally cool, most people don't buy the clothes that retailers hope they're going to buy because they don't need them. That's especially true when there's any sort of uncertainty in the economy. So now we've got the debt ceiling fight going on. So there's a lot of uncertainty with consumers, which means that retail sales are slowing down right now.
Well, let's talk about the weather and what it feels like. Let's take a look at this graph. It shows you what happened last October.
Right.
It definitely felt like a serious fall. Temperatures much cooler across almost the entire nation. That was October 2012.
Right.
Now this year, yeah, a different story in terms of the weather, especially the eastern two-thirds of the nation has been very, very warm. Even this past weekend, 90s in Texas.
Right.
The west, a little bit cooler than average,
Right.
but a lot of warm weather across the nation.
That's right, and that's really important for retail sales because it's last year's sales that compel retailers to stock the inventory for this year. Therefore, there's lots of inventory that is on the shelves waiting for people to buy it based on sales that happened last year. That was driven by the weather. So what we know is from our own internal polling through weather.com is that there's actually been a decrease in demand or need for things like heavy clothes, soups and stews, while light clothing demand is actually higher than it was this time last year, which is not necessarily good news for retailers.
And so I guess they build stuff for the shelves this year based on what happened last October.
Exactly.
So they can plan ahead.
Exactly.
All right, so this is what's happening right now. So what does that mean for the consumer? The people watching at home, can they get and save money on clothing right now?
Right, so now it's advantage consumer. Retailers have all of this inventory, the weather isn't cooperating, so the only way they can actually compel us to go buy the product is to mark the prices down. So because the inventory is piling up, they're going to have to be marking down those products. So things like sweatshirts and sweaters are all going to be marked down pretty significantly as we move through the balance of the month. And the weather's changing, so winter is coming, and so now it's probably a really good time, or this weekend especially, to go out and stock up and fill up your shopping basket with fall clothes.
Especially if you're like us, kind of hard to fit in the sleeves.
Yeah, exactly.
Bigger inventory right now than say
right.
Black Friday.
Exactly.
All right, Paul Walsh, our business weather expert. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.